C.R.P.H.A, humanitarian and citizen advocate. Okay, the topic will be, to start with, Kamala Harris and her fake, phony promises. At least one of them, anyway, so far. And, of course, I know MGTOW hamster James Maxwell had some words to say, which I find to be logic, because I heard every word he said on that. And, of course, the other one will be on, of course, as even though it's not mentioned on my Facebook posts, even through my C.R.P.H.A advocate pages, anyway, is on the idiot known as Gavin Newsom. Let's start with Gavin Newsom. Okay, the basic fact is that Gavin Newsom is going above and beyond while he's in office and while he's in the seat of governor of California, and he thinks he's doing something right. It is not logical to assume that you're doing right when you're obviously doing something socialist. And thereby, socialist type actions are illogical and unconstitutional. Thereby, also, Gavin Newsom hasn't heard that he doesn't have that long till I call for his impeachment. He needs to take heed and listen to what I say, because the basic fact is that if he doesn't take down the sanctuary city and state statuses within and on California, being that, of course, the sanctuary city status needs to be taken off and away from San Francisco, California, and the sanctuary state thing needs to be taken off the state of California. No question, no ifs, ands, or buts, no nothing. Don't make any phony bullshit promises and phony excuses either. The fact of it is that, as I said in many of my other videos, earlier videos of C.R.P.H.A, is that the sanctuary state status is only a safety net for the illegals, and thereby it's unconstitutional. And also with that, the liberals are grasping at straws because they're so damn desperate to get back in the White House. They lost grasp of the golden rod of the White House when Hillary lost against Trump in 2016. And it's a good thing she lost, because it was said that she was going to take out the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution of We the People of the United States Constitution, the original document, the very one that one particular YouTube news idiot reported that she tore up the actual document of the Constitution, and thereby, if she really did, then guess what, idiot? The fact of it is that even according to the Constitution, whether it's fucked with in the most negative, illogical of ways, it doesn't matter how or in what way, she has put her position in her seat and the party of the Democratic Party to the point to where they have no choice but to be dismantled. And Trump himself has the power to this point on through to make it a actuality, if she did so that you reported. Thereby, Nancy Pelosi is a senile, desperate little fucking skanky ass idiot, liberal Democrat, brain dead, socialist, uncaring, and yet she wants to act like she's doing something for the American people because she thinks that she knows what's best for the American people. Kamala Harris thinks that she knows what's best for the American people. Joe Biden thinks he knows what's best for the American people. Bernie Sanders and Obama thought they knew what was best for the American people. Hillary Clinton thought the same damn thing. They're fucking lying through their damn teeth, man. They're desperate to fucking take this country and tear it apart piece by piece by piece. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, in one of my other videos of C.R.P.H.A, I mentioned concentration camps as they had in World War One, and if not just two, if not just WW2, back overseas, right? It can happen in the United States if the liberals have their way. Thereby, anybody who doesn't support the liberals will be in those damn camps. Anybody who doesn't kiss their ass, in which the fucking liberals want, then you're in the concentration camps. They want to place fear and no comfort, no positive thing at all, because they hate America. They don't like America. They don't care what happens to the American people. They don't care if we have a positive, bright future. They don't care if our own youth has a positive, bright future. Even if they say that they do, they're lying through their damn teeth. They're desperate to fucking get your fucking approval. Kamala Harris should know that with the wage gap, there's nothing she could do. There's nothing wrong with the way things have been paid, the way things have been going when it comes to the male and female wage percentages. It's been like this since 1950s, 60s, and 70s. There's no fucking change. It's just because of the feminist movement of today that they expect change. They expected change with the ERA granted, but guess what though? The change that they wanted was a lot more substantial and more logical than the one of today. So Kamala Harris, you cannot make phony, fake-ass promises that you know that you will not be able to keep, even if you made it to the White House indefinitely. It's not like where you can go at the end of your speech, female power, chicas. We women can get whatever the fuck we want through the feminist movement, and I will make sure of it even in the White House. Guess what? If you do that, you're making yourself look so fucking bad. And in fact, Kamala, I've said many times, there's no way in hell you're going to make it through to be staying in the running. So, James Maxwell, MGTOW hamster, bro, as a MGTOW brother myself, I respect your that you feel that she may be able to make it, but the percentages are not looking very well in Kamala Harris's favor. With the fact that she has not done a damn thing, and I know I've mentioned this in my other videos of C.R.P.H.A, that she hasn't done anything in a positive action to even show more than a sincere apology, and try to explain the fact that she's not a racist. Because James Maxwell, if you watch the news at all, and I'm sure you do, the fact of it is that there was a protest outside of her campaign rally that she had in one state, although I can't remember exactly which one it was because it's been a while, of course. That those same people protested right in front of the damn building, outside the building, no less, and yelled out that Kamala Harris is a racist little bitch. Maybe not in those words directly, but I know exactly, and that's exactly what they were directing it towards. And so, Kamala Harris has not done anything to procure that to the points to where it's taken care of, that the fact of her being racist is a falsehood, thereby she's too afraid to, because she knows she's a racist, and she doesn't want to make herself look even worse by saying that she's not, but yet, with her within herself, she knows she is. Thereby, we don't need a fucking racist president. It's bad enough Obama had his own racial problems as it was, so therefore we don't need that any longer. So Kamala Harris is not going to make it in the running with that on her ass and on her little feminist little bitch ass tail. And with Gavin Newsom needs to either take heed to what I say, or be prepared for the route for people to gather up and protest for his impeachment, because he's not doing anything positive for the legal citizens of the state of California. He's making this healthcare plan that he wants to pull through beneficial for the fucking illegals. Yes, I know the illegals are also Heavenly Father's children too, but guess what? You do something that's only beneficial for the illegals and not beneficial 100% equally for the legal citizens, then something is wrong with your fucking operation in the fucking Capitol building of California. Thereby you are a socialist, uncaring little stupid fucking jackass. And no advocate that cares about the American people in this country and this state, in the state of California especially, no advocate that cares about the American people and our youth and this country and every state will allow that to happen. That's including California. Thereby also, Gavin, you need to realize that you are not going to get off scot-free, and I will make sure of it, because each time I see a movement that you make that I know that's not very logical and not substantial and not within the Constitution, especially, and it's only if it only favors one side, which is in this case the illegals, then guess what? You're becoming even a step closer to being impeached. I've called for Jerry Brown's impeachment. Do you want to be governor governor number 2 in the list for the call for impeachment? Gavin Newsom, I know, and I've said it before in each one of my videos, that you were the mayor of San Francisco, a moderate Republican at the time, from my understanding. Thereby, you decided to switch parties for some illogical, stupid, brain-dead reason when you went with Jerry Brown as his lieutenant governor. Therefore, you did exactly what Biden did with Obama. Kept your mouth shut and supported and basically kissed Obama. While Biden kissed Obama's ass, you kissed Jerry Brown's ass and made sure that Jerry Brown's little socialist actions went through. And I'm not going to put up with you trying to get away with the same shit. I didn't put up with it with Jerry Brown, and I didn't put up with it with Obama, and I'm not going to put up with it with you, Gavin. So guess what, Gavin? You either change your tune when it comes to the medical insurance for the state of California and the citizens, that it's only not surprisingly, only beneficial for the illegals, which is basically you're doing an unconstitutional action there, and you can be taken out even by the president himself. And the fact of the state of California being so-called declared as a sanctuary state does not put walls up for the president that they won't be able to get through. Not even a court system run by liberal followers, the liberal kiss-ass judges will be able to stop him even by the Constitution itself. So guess what, Gavin? You have only one option. And that one option is a pretty big one. Either change your tune when it comes to the medical insurance for the state of California and its citizens, or and also take down the sanctuary state and city status right away, and actually focus on what's more important, which is the low-income housing situation and the base of more employment, being retail and whatnot else, to be brought into the state of California, for more jobs to be brought in here, and get rid of the high tax plan, or be ready for hearing the call for your impeachment, and I will make it a strong one. I made it a damn strong one when it came to Jerry Brown. I can make it just as strong, if not even stronger, when it comes to you, Gavin. Kamala Harris, you have no chance of staying in the running for president for 2020. Kamala Harris, you cannot promise shit like Obama has, and like every other liberal jackass has, to try to get into office, and think you can get away with it, and think just because you hear this that you got their approval, that you got their vote. The basic fact is that nobody wants a racist fucking president, and you haven't done a damn thing when it comes to the again supposed accusation that you may call it, that you're a racist little bitch. You haven't done it because you're afraid, because you don't want people to know that you are a fucking racist, Kamala Harris. So guess what? You either step down, drop out, because you ain't going to make it in the running anyway, or quit making phony-ass promises and be true to the people, unlike which would be a positive change compared to Obama and whatnot else, and actually keep the fucking promises, and actually fucking go and work on them, and actually show that you can work on them, instead of promising shit that you know you won't be able to get past any part of any part of the fucking areas of Washington, D.C. to start with. Thereby also, I know you're going to say, well, if you think I'm not going to make it, then what's the point? There's many points to where even if one person says one thing, or however many people say the same one thing, even in different perspectives and different ways and what have you, it still can be a possibility. But then again, it could easily be proven that the people are right, that you will not make it. So it can kind of go both ways. But you have said shit that you know you can't promise. You cannot keep the promise. Thereby, no liberal in the history, even after Obama, has kept their promise. The only liberal that's kept his promise when it came to the job situation was Clinton, Bill Clinton, and that was the only fucking promise he was able to keep. The other shit that he did was out of malice and whatnot. Something that nobody really agreed with. You got to pay. You got some time to think about that, don't you? Hell, even Carter said there's a lot of shit that he wasn't able to keep. And yes, Carter was a liberal Democratic president. The only reason I respect Carter now is because he's helping Habitat for Humanity. Other than that, when it came to the presidential political aspects, fuck no. He made things worse as a president more than he realizes, or even that he's willing to admit. Obama made things way drastically worse than he's even willing to admit. He'll fucking lie through his teeth before he admits it even more. And of course, Michelle Obama will lie through her teeth and try to defend her sweetheart. And so will Biden lie through his teeth and deny that he didn't do a damn thing in stopping Obama from doing the illogical, unconstitutional things. Because the real truth is, Biden didn't do shit in stopping Obama from going against the Constitution. Yet Biden wants to put his hat in the running and think he can do better than Obama. No, he'll make things way worse than Obama. Basically, if I can go as far as to say that Biden will make it equally as worse as Obama did, which basically, if Biden were to be in the White House, this country is going to go down into the depths of hell. Same thing with Bernie Sanders. Same thing when it comes to Kamala Harris. And same thing with every other liberal male and female politician, bitch, and asshole that there is in the running for president of 2020 in the year of 2020. So guess what? The liberals cannot be trusted. The liberals were on the liberal Democrats, which were only known as the Democrats in the 1960s, when John Franklin Kennedy was in the White House. And before he was in the White House, he showed that he was able to be trusted. He spoke a lot of truths. Thereby, I still strongly stand by this, that Kennedy actually truly cared about the American people and this country. The liberals of today do not give a damn. One iota. And they can lie through their teeth and say that they do when they really don't. The more they lie through their teeth and the more they do that, the more they sin, the more they'll go straight into the depths of hell. And of course, there was a little recording of a questionable thing. Oh, you voted for Trump, didn't you? And he directed it mostly to farmers. And when it came to Obama, that type of video was not made, because obviously the idiot is a liberal kiss ass who made that video and who posted it on Facebook. Nobody gets that many things that presidents do, even from the Republican side, but mostly from the Republican side, there's many things that the Republican politicians have done that's 100% positive, 100% beneficial for the United States of America and our youth and the American people all in one. But things do take time. Things even happen a step at a time. Thereby, that little fucking dumbass who made that fucking recording of a video is a liberal kiss ass, and he wants people to feel bad for voting for Trump because he himself doesn't like the way things are happening, especially when the unemployment rate went down. And this country's been more than benefited, and the American people have been more than benefited because of Trump being in office. So guess what, dumbass who made that fucking video and directed it mostly to farmers? You better fucking watch what you fucking say to about the president. And if you're going to be doing that, you're an un-American. And you might as well get the fuck out of the United States if you don't like the way things are being done. Straight out, man. I support and I strongly support the president, Donald J. Trump. He's doing a good job for this country, for our youth, and for the American people, all in one. And for the futures for all. And if those little liberal kiss asses don't like it, I don't give a damn. Guess what? You're being benefited, you liberal kiss asses, equally to everybody else. You just don't want to believe it or see it or even take heed to it. Because you don't want to believe it's possible for that to happen. You'd rather see shit go downhill done by the Democrats, and yet when shit goes downhill, you'll think, oh, it'll eventually go back up. It won't. Not with Democrats. It won't. It won't go back up with Democrats. I can guarantee you, it hasn't. So guess what? You're living in a little fucking fantasy world, pipe dream. If you think that kind of crap. If you think, oh yeah, even though things are going downhill with the liberals in office, everything will go back up eventually. Yeah, the only time it'll go back up is when we have Republicans, both conservative and regular politicians, in the White House, you idiot. It took time for things to be established even through Reagan, and people may have given him shit about it, but guess what? At least it was done, right? Same thing with the two Bushes. When it comes to the two Bushes, people gave them shit about it, but things were done and taken care of, weren't they? And a good number of them took time, didn't they? People need to really think about that before they question and judge, even wrongfully judge, a person that's in our White House that's doing very, very strong positive things. If you keep on judging, you're making yourself look way worse than you will ever know. And even if you don't believe you are making yourself look way worse by doing that, guess what? You're still living in a fantasy world. So, James Maxwell, MGTOW Hamster, my friend, I'm going to tell you straight up. All of what I say, in each and every one of my advocate videos, both of C.R.P.H.A, Humanitarian, and Citizen Advocate, are 100% true. Because I watch for things, I research and analyze things before I even make a video. And sometimes it doesn't take me that long to analyze things, even research them. Guaranteed. Because I know because I've done advocating and I know I'm going to say this to you, James Maxwell, my friend, is that I've been advocating since 2004. I've been in the working world, starting in retail, for 12 years. And I know what's been going on even then. So therefore, I'm making sure that shit doesn't happen. And even if it does, I can fight against it. I can be very, very vengeful when it comes to the safety and well-being of many people, including our youth. And even when it comes to the futures for everybody, including our youth in the United States. And I can do the same thing for other countries too, but the one thing is, I would only do it for those who don't attack us. And I would only do it for those who don't go against us, even if they are truly our allies at current. And I would only do it for those who do not go against the Constitution, especially. And who do not go against the American flag, Old Glory. And also those who do not cross the border illegally. Aside from the fact that I know that everybody's a child, both son or daughter, of Heavenly Father. Aside from that, if you do something against the Constitution, against the law, even more than one time, against and even illegally, like crossing the border or anything else for that matter, forget it. You ain't going to get my support. And I am not going to advocate for you. You stay within the law of the United States of America. You stay within the Constitution of this country. You stay within the base of logic and reality, as I have stated many times in many different ways, especially through my logical MGTOW videos. Then I will advocate for you. You go against any illogical crap, forget it. Meaning that if you do anything illogical and stupid and illegal, then guess what? No advocating for you. The basic fact is that I'm putting big time support for MGTOW. Not because I'm a member of MGTOW, but because I know the actuality of MGTOW is more logical, just like the ERA was logical for women. The ERA was logical for women because they protested in 1972 to 1978 for women equality, independence, to where you can live on your own and support yourself, and much, much more. To where also where you're able to vote, even though in, I believe it was 1819, somewhere in the beginning to mid part of the 1900s, women were given the legal right to vote even then. But somewhere along the lines, I guess it was forgotten. That's why ERA did. But now with the current feminist and Me Too movement, it looks like the ERA wasn't enough. Thereby, the women who protested and marched for all women, including the women of today and the future, they wasted their time. They could have done a lot more beneficial, profitable things for themselves and their families and loved ones now, couldn't they, ladies? Thereby, you'd have one hell of an issue, wouldn't you? Aside from the matriarchal society being no longer in existence and it will never come back, there's no way in hell it will ever come back. And the matriarchal society was known to be a female-dominated society. And yes, this planet had that particular thing happen many hundreds of years ago. Thereby, something went awry and went down the fucking hill to the points to where it had to be reestablished as the male-dominated society. But yet, women still were able to get what they had rights to, aside from what's in the Constitution. I mean, actually, besides what's in the Constitution, that is. Yet they want to bitch and moan for even more? Not logical. So, also, ladies, you in accordance to MGTOW, you won't get to have any male to be pulled out of MGTOW and back into the plantation, essentially, because you're only about the male's resources, and according to MGTOW, that is, and you're only about yourself, which is not logical. And I know I normally would not mention this on an advocate video, but I'm being honest. I'm always honest and truthful and factual when it comes to many different things I talk about on C.R.P.H.A. as well as MGTOW, my MGTOW videos. If you have any questions regarding what the political issues that I mentioned, or anything that you want me to advocate on, or even mention when it comes to advocating, please let me know on the comment section below. If you want to talk, please let me know as well, and we can possibly talk on Facebook Messenger or something. Thank you. Have a good day, and may Heavenly Father bless you all, and may Heavenly Father bless the United States of America and the U.S. Constitution, and also may Heavenly Father bless, and as we thank our troops that are still serving us and who have served us in this country, and in which I salute you. Thank you for your service, troops, and keep up the good work. And those who have served us in this country, I thank you for your service as well. And for those who are current Marines, as my father was once before I was even born, and the ones that were Marines, Semper Fi, brothers, Semper Fi. Have a good day.